Tigers fans, brace yourselves because Justin Olam might be hanging up the old boots and I am absolutely gutted. And this isn't just like a player leaving, this is a massive chunk of our soul walking out the door. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Geordie. If you're new here, smash that like and subscribe button. It helps me and the algorithm out a ton. Plus, it gets great footy content in the palm of your hands. And this is all about the Tigers' journey. I'm a diehard fan who has lived and breathed the club through the darkest days, and hopefully 2025 is going to be the year for us. 3 wooden spoons, endless heartache. Olam was a warrior and our heartbeat, the guy who gave us hope when we signed him just last year. Now, February 26, 2025, words breaking that he is facing medical retirement over his knee injury, and I'm absolutely just floored and gutted because we are losing so much more than a name on the roster. So let's dive into it. Grab a drink. What are you going to do? Get comfy, because we're going to dive right into Olam and what he actually brought to us and why this cut's so deep, and like how the hell we are actually supposed to move forward without him. Drop a comment. Are you feeling the loss like I am? You're going to need some bereavement days at work, and I just want to know who's hurting with me in the orange and the black country. So let's start with who Justin Olam actually is to us, because he's not just some little bloke. He is a legend in my eyes. Hailing from Papua New Guinea, a really tiny village. You know, he's 31 years old now, and he's got an incredible story. He has an applied physics degree, and who chose footy over a desk job. Like, he fought his way up through the PNG Hunters, landed at the Storm in 2018, and by 2020 he's a premiership winner. Great career just like that. He was a center with a lot of fire and grit, and when he signed with us in 2024, like the 3 years till 2026, like nearly $600,000 a friggin' season, I was over the moon. He's been just like, he is the guy who's been on top, and he knows what it's like to like have a winning crew, and he knows what it's also like to join a ragtag crew. And when he walked into Leichhardt, I'm thinking, this is it. This is the turnaround, and it starts with him. And he's not flashy with words, but his presence, my goodness, is absolutely massive. What I'd call him is like a quiet giant. He lifted us up when we needed it the most. So like, this retirement news, it's a punch to the gut, if I'm being honest, and I'm kind of struggling to find the courage to do this video, but I've got to unpack it because there's so much to it, and this could be something great for the West Tigers. There might be beauty in the pain, and still there might be a silver lining. We'll get into it. The Sunday Morning Herald hit us with it. Was it February 24th to you guys? West Tigers star on the verge of shock medical retirement. Knees were knackered, surgery last offseason, can't train, missed out preseason trials, all of that. 9 News even doubled down. Justin Olam, knee injury, retirement talks this week, management meeting with the club, things like that. Like, just not great headlines for the West Tigers. This was also days before round 1 against tonight on March 6th. Fox Sport reckons it's been brewing since last year, though, and if it's a medical retirement, we might get cap relief. But who cares about money at the end of the day, because we are losing a legend. X going off the rail too. What is it? At NRL Fan 123, they posted, this is heartbreaking. Olam was supposed to be a key part of our resurgence, and I'm right there, mate. Like, I'm gutted with those guys, and I agree 100%. And Reddit's the NRL is all gloom and doom for the Tigers. Like, they're saying like Tigers can't afford this, and I am nodding right there with them as I was scrolling through today. And because he was our rock, guys, like, not just a player, but like what he brought to us was just incredible. So let me paint the picture. If you don't know who Olam is, or if you just need to be reminded of how much we love him and how much we're going to miss him. First off, his presence. Like, he walks onto the field. What is he, like 183 centimeters, 93 kilos of just pure menace. And if you feel it, like, he's got this aura, premiership winner, 117 games on his belt, and he's been through the wars, and for a team like us, young and lost, that was going to be gold for us. He's the guy you look to when it's tight, when we're down, and like, because he's been there, he's stared down the big dogs like gun barrel. He comes out on top every time, and there's just some physicality to him as well. Not just size, but like intent. He hits holes like a battering ram, and he just draws defenders like and open spaces. Like think of him barreling through, setting up our edges, like giving Bulla Aloy room to move. Like, and his hands too, soft as anything, popping offloads off the back and like turning nothing into something. Defensively, he is a wall, or was a wall, whatever you want to call it. He doesn't just tackle, like he smashes, he shuts down plays before they even start. And like the leadership, he was quiet, sure, but real. But like, I saw an ex-fan, his name was Tigers Fan 89. He tweeted, "Olam's shuddering hits are unreal." But it's like also more like he's in the sheds. He is like getting around the kids and showing them like how the pros do it on the field, honestly. And then off the field, he's our like PNG pride, like a role model, a hero for like our Pacific Islander fans, a link to Western Sydney's heart, right? He brought belief. And you know, like Tigers fans, belief is just what we need this season, and it could be more than just a punchline. But why is that so bad for us? Because losing him tears this whole, I think, Tigers like club apart, if I'm being honest. And I'm raging from the inside because we've been a mess for so long, bottom of the ladder, laughed at, no final since 2011, and Olam was our like lifeline. And I just don't know how we move forward without this guy, but he is the guy, and I just don't know how we move forward, if I'm being honest. But was thinking about it on my way home. I think we are going to be like grasping at the straws because like this is going to be a brutal transition for us, and our game plan has kind of been building around him. Like as we've seen Benji's vision, like new signings like Luai and Teromei, was Olam as the rock in these centers. Like he would punch holes and then link it to Luai. You know, he would feed Bulla, and then just like this chain reaction of attack, guys. And like defensively, he was an anchor at the right edge as well, and like he would help Galvin focus up the middle. And now that's just all scrambled. We got Brent Nettens. He's our go-to, tough, reliable, but he's also just like, he's a stopper too, and he's not a creator, and he won't spark like Olam. But you know, we got people like Stafford Toa, like he's young, he's got pace, and he's raw, but he does drop balls, he does miss reads, and he's not ready to carry us. Adam Dewey, he like might shift from the 6. Like he does got skill, I must admit, but he's like no bulldozer, and he thrives with space, but he's not making space at the same time. Even Fox Sports hinted like at cap relief, like Tigers could adapt, maybe like 600k frees up, but who's actually out there for that price tag too? And preseason is done, so like no Olam like level centers sitting around either. Like they're committed to their teams at this point. Sydney Morning Herald said like shock retirement. Yeah, that shock's putting it mildly, to be honest, because when I saw that, I immediately thought, like, we are lost. We are done. The game plan has to shift, though, if we want to make it deep into the season like we're planning on it. We got to lean on May and Hunt up front. Like, hope they bulldoze enough for Luai and to work miracles, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dewey at center, Galvin at 6. Like, it's going to be clunky. It's going to leave us thin, but I think we might actually have a shot if we can get the backline depth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I saw on Reddit, someone said backline depth shot, and I am like nodding. And because our attack is now going to be so predictable, and we need to work on that depth. And our defense is also going to be wobbly, guys. Like we might promote a kid like Josiah, but he is also raw and untested. But that's 2026, and it's not now, so I'm not going to jump ahead. There's another fan that I saw, another tweet, Tigers Fan 89 again says like, we just can't catch a break. And I'm like, mate, an understatement of the century, really. Like, what's next for 2025 West Tigers? I'm trying to stay hopeful. This was such tough news today when I read the headline and I read more of the post. But I think, you know, Olam was our bridge to respect Luai's flash and like May's power, and Olam's like still trying to just hold it all together, I feel. But without him, we are fragile, and we are coming up against round 1 Knights, like March 8th. We've got Nadan. He's going to be holding the line, but no breakout plays. We grind, maybe sneak it mid-season like the Dragons. We got people there, but I just don't think we're going to have the punch that we're going to need, and I just think the attack is going to stall. But talk late season against the Sharks, no Olam grit, and we fade. Finals, I don't even know if we're going to see top 8 if this is the way the Tigers are going to keep getting news. If we're going to keep losing key players, and if we aren't going to continue making the players that we have now in the present that are uninjured the very best they could be, I think Benji might need to start looking for another club, because Benji has got to start retooling the forwards. We got to start retooling the backs and even the outsides. So we got to think more space, better plays, but also simpler plays. We got to pray that Luai is a wizard out there. We got to pray that Hunt just keeps running up the guts and just creating space and moments for Buller to come through as well, because it's going to come down to these 3 guys, Luai, Buller, and then Hunt, and I just don't know if this absence of Olam is going to just absolutely tear us apart, or if it's going to help us succeed. I really don't know, and I want to know what you guys are thinking in the comments right now. Do you think Olam's absence and retirement, if it actually happens, is going to be the worst thing for the West Tigers, or do you think this might be the very thing that out of a hard place greatness is born? This might be the thing for the Tigers, get a foot up our butt, saying you guys need to start getting better, you guys need to take this play stuff seriously, you guys need to take the West Tigers seriously and start believing, because I could see it going either way. I could see it really breaking us down as a club, but I could also see it being Benji's fuel for coaching. I can see it being Luai's fuel for the season, just creating this prodigy story of we were, but now we are, we see gaps, we own gaps, we see moments where we could be better, and we just dominate on those moments. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this going to be a really horrible thing for the club? Obviously, it's so painful. I don't know if I've processed it yet, but I also think there is going to be beauty in the pain. I think there's going to be a silver lining out of all of this, and it might be the thing that gets us deep in the season. But I am going to be extremely realistic with you guys, because I appreciate the honesty that you guys are giving to me, and I'll be honest with you. I'm still just trying to process it all, and I just don't know what this is going to mean for the Tigers. But I think our game plan is using this this pain or this horrible situation and turn it into something great, and into something that is going to turn this club and this franchise around, and just be an absolutely epic story that documentarians are going to wish they got behind, because I'm still believing 2025 is the year for the Tigers to get from that wooden spoon and make it to the mids at least. But again, if you've seen, anything can happen. So thanks for tuning in on today's NRL Deep Dive. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. How are you feeling about this whole loss with Olam? And do you think it's actually going to go through and he's going to hang up the old boots? Let me know in the comments. And as always, take it easy, mate.